Rodeo is seeded with the Western heritage and traditions that were created out of necessity, and those are still very much alive today.
And I'm really starting to see why you chose this way of life and such an incredible partner.
Because you want a horse that's going to be able to go with you and not only treat cows, but fix fences and do all aspects of ranch life. Well, your horse really is your partner, because sometimes they are the only one you're with for the entire day.
What goes into the perfect ranch horse?
I think that it really depends on what type of person you are and what kind of relationship you want to have with your horse. It could be a number of things, but you need a horse that's athletic because they have to do a number of different tasks on the farm, whether it be catching a calf to treat it, even just riding all day through the hills. You need a horse that has a lot of stamina. And you also need a horse with a big heart. You know, you're with this animal all day long. You want to make sure that you have a good relationship with your horse, but they also want to be doing this job. Because this isn't for every horse. Some horses, they'll be out there and they just get tired and then they get grouchy, and that's not an ideal partnership. So you want a horse that's not afraid to get a little sweaty, get a little dirty, and that kind of goes with the whole rancher's way of life too. This isn't for the faint of heart. I think in order to be a cowboy, to live this lifestyle, you have to be able to be tough, but also just work hard. And I think that that's what's so rewarding about it in the end, is the fact that you can go every day and just feel so accomplished by the end of it.
Practice those skills, I understand. You know, you've ranched all day, but you know, to take a horse and tune it up in a certain way, you go into an arena. I say school because that's the English way of riding. You know, you school your horse, but you guys get together with friends, and next thing you know, you're roping. Walk me through what that's like.
Well, I think that it's so important being in tune with your horse and what their needs are. And just like any athlete in the human world has to train for what they do, so do horses. And these animals, they not only are skilled in what they do, but these take specific muscles. And I think having these animals so in tune with what you need, but also in the top physical shape and performance, because this is not an easy job. You know, this is not something that you could take any horse off the street and say, okay, we're going to ranch all day. Because they have to have that cardio built up so that when they spend 8-9 hours out in the field treating, doctoring, checking fences, mending fences, their body has to be ready for it. Otherwise, you know, you and that horse are not going to have a very good time.
Fortunate enough to spend the last few days with you. Obviously, I'm not familiar with ranching, but I've spent lots of time watching the Royal Rodeo, and so I could see abilities that was really drawing the connection from ranching to rodeo to me.
And that connection is present today, not just out of the traditions of rodeo and the past of our heritage and Western culture. I think a lot of people don't realize that when you have a herd of 300 cows out on thousands of acres, there's really no other way to treat them. Let's say a calf has an infection or a cow has foot rot. There could be a number of different things that happen in a herd. And it's up to that cowboy, that rancher, who's going out and checking those cows every day on his horse to be able to notice that and know how to treat it. That's what's so important in that connection between rodeo and ranch life, is that in rodeo, we're showing what those skills are, the horsepower that's needed to get these jobs done every day on a working ranch.
One of the guys that was riding yesterday was on a brand new horse. I saw some bronc riding going on out there.
That's the thing. We see bronc riding, bareback riding, and saddle bronc riding in the Royal Rodeo. And that's not just something where some cowboy was like, I'm going to see if I can ride this horse. This happens every day. These cowboys are tough. And they have to get on brand new horses that have never done this stuff. They need to go out and they need to treat cows. They need to do whatever they're going to do. And that horse might not be ready for it. They have to learn those skills as a rancher, as a cowboy, to be able to get by a horse that might not be exactly into whatever's happening in that moment. these are not machines. These are real live beings, and they feel and they sense things, and when they're uncomfortable, they can't perform. So we want to make sure we take care of our partners so that when they do put on this show and test the ability of both horse and rider, that they can do the best they can do.
Do you have a favorite event to watch?
There's no surprise here, but I love horses, and I love watching the connection between a horse and a rider. And I feel like when I'm watching the Royal Rodeo and you see those cowgirls come in there with those athletic horses doing the barrels, running the poles, it's kind of a rush. They live and breathe these horses and rodeo. I love being able to watch that partnership and that just love for what they do. And you can tell when a horse loves his job. It's actually a really cool experience when you have a young horse and you're not quite sure what they're going to excel at. And you can try different things. Being able to kind of see what makes him tick. If he's going to be a great ranch horse, if he's going to be a great rope horse, you never know until you experience all this with them. And that's one of the most rewarding things, having a horse and raising a horse from being so young and just finding out what exactly they're going to excel at. And that's the same with rodeo. You know, all of these animals are good at different things, just like humans. Some humans are great basketball players and some are better swimmers and some just don't want to do it at all. And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's learning each individual animal's potential and what they really enjoy doing.
With the Royal celebrating 100 years this year, it's so exciting for us all to be back. You haven't been there for 2 years. What can we expect to see at the rodeo this year?
I always love the energy in the Coliseum. When I ride in there and the crowd is just so alive, that really makes it all worthwhile for all of us, not just myself, but all of the animal athletes as well, because you can tell that buzz that's in the air. And I think something that's really exciting is the fact that we haven't done this for a couple years, so everybody's anticipating it. They've been wanting it. Just to be able to be back in that space with those cowboys and those cowgirls, it's an incredible energy. And I don't think you get that anywhere else.
Shelly. She was so special. Tell me about how you got to know her.
Shelly and her family are incredible. We've been roping over there for many years and they're just so warm and inviting. One of the things I love about rodeo and I love about the ranching community is that it's so saturated in family. And it doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or you're 85 years old. This is a family event and everybody's in it together.
My name is Shelly. I'm 57 years old. I've lived on ranches all my life. It's a lifestyle that we appreciate. We just take that tradition and we have made a sport out of it to keep up with our skills so that when we do have to go out to the pasture, we've practiced so that we do it properly. I was riding with my brother and my 83-year-old dad, my husband. It's emotional. It's all right. And it's just a gathering of family, something that we can do forever.
The one thing that all of us share in this Western way of life is the fact that we truly love this lifestyle. And it's not an easy lifestyle, but it's something that is so rewarding and something at the end of the day, you go to bed satisfied that you've accomplished something great.
I learned a lot. I didn't give it a go because I'm not there yet, I don't think. I think I'll spend some more time out here with you and you can teach me when no one's looking. And I will obviously leave the Coliseum all up to you. That will not be me in there. I'll be on the sidelines cheering you on.
Well, I have to say, I am so excited to be back at the Royal Rodeo this year for the 100th anniversary. And that time can't come soon enough. But for now, I still have chores to do. So you're gonna mount up and help me?
I am, yeah.
Okay, let's do it.